Hello, everyone, and happy weekend. Well, we are talking about women who are trying to start their family, the preconception part. And in today's day and age, they're having problems. So why are they having problems? What should they do? That's a topic that I brought a PhD with me, Reedhika. She is a dietitian. Her thesis is exactly on the topic that I am talking about. Thank you so much, and namaste, Reedhika, for joining me.
Namaste. Thank you so much for having me here. So let's start talking about the preconception part of it. So first thing is, I would just like to say what is preconception care, what is considered as that period of preconception period. So that is basically the first 3 months before you get pregnant is what is considered as the preconception period, right? So we as women, we generally only focus on, after getting pregnant or while lactating, while feeding our child and things like that. That's when we mainly focus on the nutrition part of it, right? We never really look at what we have done before getting pregnant in the previous years or in the previous months before getting pregnant. So the main focus should always be there, especially when it comes to, the Indian diet and the Indian concept of it. Because in the Indian diet, if you see, there are a lot of things that are not going into your body, right? When it comes to iron, folic acid, zinc, vitamins, minerals, all of these things play a very important role in order for a woman to conceive, right? So unless and until we make sure that our diets are wholesome, that our diets are complete, only then can we proceed and we can get, we can get a healthier baby as compared to a malnourished baby, right? Especially if you look at the rural side of it, you will always see there are women who are giving birth to low birth weight babies. There are women who are, conceiving much faster. They're not giving the gaps between their pregnancies and a lot of issues like that, right? So in order to make sure that such things are happening, preconception care is all about that, in order to make sure that you're conceiving a healthy baby, also keeping in mind about the woman's health, also keeping in mind about the stress factors, about her sleep, about her exercise, everything in a wholesome way. So that becomes very important when we talk about preconception care.
So I think that's great what you said. I want to bring one very important fact, right? A big elephant that's happening in Indian society, especially in Indian society. A lot of data shows that women 35 to 39, 40 years are getting menopause at that age, right? So what that means is your ovaries are shut down and you can't have any more babies. In a country like India, it's like, oh my God, that is like a death sentence here. It is a death sentence. So do you want to comment on that a little bit?
Definitely. So like you rightly mentioned, menopause is coming way too early, as it used to maybe just 5 or 10 years back, right? Which is of course not considered as healthy for a woman's hormonal health, be it conceiving, be it anything related to fertility. It's definitely not considered well. And preconception care again over there plays a very important role even when we talk about menopause, because all of these factors are related to your hormonal health. Eventually it all boils down to that, right? So when we talk about the menopause part of a woman, right, so that is something I think 50-60 years was considered to be the age, if I'm not wrong, right? So that was the age which was considered to be normal. But nowadays, if you see, it's like it's just not your menopause, it's also the fibroids, it's also a lot of other issues that are coming into picture when it comes to women's health, right? So all of these things are not just related to nutrition, not just related to the diet. It is also very much related to the stress factors that we Indian women, or we women in general, go through, right, on a regular basis throughout their life, be it childbearing, be it getting periods on a monthly basis, running your home, running your family. All of these things add on to a lot of stress in a woman's life. Right. So when we talk about menopause, when we talk about conceiving, when we talk about preconception, anything, so throughout a woman's life, there's so many stress factors that we have to deal with. Right. So that is one very important thing, that that needs to be focused on, right? Making sure that you're making our lives easier, even if it is just in very small ways, and family especially plays a very important role when it comes to such things. Because I feel whatever we do for our family, we being women, right? And that is something that I do agree with. You should do it, but even your health should also come first. So when we talk about menopause, very important to take care of your stress levels, very important to make sure that you're going for a walk, you're exercising regularly, you're eating healthy. All of these things play a very important role. It's not just that, okay, bacha ho gaya, it's all done, but it does not work like that. You have to make sure that you're taking care of your health even after conceiving, even after giving birth. It's very important to do that so that you can take care of your family and yourself.
All right. So that, I think that's a very good point. So so just from a dietitian point of view, let's just talk about the diet part. Any particular nutrients, any particular type of vegetables, any particular type of supplements, that women should focus on if they're trying to conceive? Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, sure. So I think most of us are very aware of the calcium and the iron intakes when you're trying to conceive, right? So especially in the preconception period, just 3 months before you're trying to get pregnant, ensure that you already start supplementing, right? Especially if you're a vegetarian, it plays a very important role. Make sure that you're having your iron supplements, you're having your folic acid supplements. Also make sure that, that you're going to the physician regularly, because a lot of women even today have that that thing in their head that no, I'll get pregnant naturally. But in certain cases that does not happen. Eventually you opt for IVF, you opt for all such things. So rather than doing all of that, just make sure that your diet is in place, right? And apart from that, even zinc plays a very important role. Even vitamin A plays a very important role. And coming to the calcium part of it, of course, calcium and vitamin D again play a very important role when it comes to conceiving, when it comes to giving birth. Right. So ensuring that you're having these supplements not only during pregnancy, but also before getting pregnant is very important.
All right. So any particular type, like, let's just talk about Indian meal. So what kind of not the recipes, but what kind of food they should be eating, like for breakfast in the morning, like sprouted something, or just share a few ideas.
Yeah, so coming to the Indian diet, I think it's not just about the preconception care. I think it's about everyone's diet in general. So an Indian diet generally consists of mainly carbohydrates, as we all know, right? So it's only chapatis, rice, or millets that you're eating throughout the day. We hardly consume any protein in the diet if you look at an Indian meal plan, right? So ensuring that you're having enough amount of protein throughout the day is very important. Each meal of yours that you take should contain at least some amount of protein, right? Now, for example, if you're having poha, if you're having upma, right? So these are basic Indian breakfasts, right? So along with that, ensure that you're having a boiled egg, or egg whites, or scrambled egg, an omelette. If you're a non-vegetarian, if you want a vegetarian source, opt for something like sprouts or boiled chana or something like that, right? So just ensuring that protein is present in every meal that you take. Not just protein, even fiber plays a very important role. Especially nowadays, if you see, we are very influenced by the westernized culture of food. Right, so it's mostly having a lot of French fries, having burgers and pizzas. I'm not saying that's bad food, but at the same time, those foods don't really contain enough amount of fiber in them, right? So ensuring that you're adding some portion of salad, or boiled vegetables or whole grains, something like that should always go in at least once or twice throughout the day. So ensuring you're doing these things is very necessary. And of course, when we talk about the fat part of it, needless to say, healthy fats is a must. Having dry fruits, having seeds, all of these things play a very important role in an Indian diet. So even if you're trying to conceive, or even if you're in in your menopause phase or anything like that, ensuring that you're having a wholesome diet plays a very important role. And not just that, like I mentioned about exercise, apart from exercise, sleep is very important. And also water intake, ensuring that you're having at least 2.5 to 3 liters of water, throughout the day. So these things play a very important role. A holistic view on everything is very necessary when it comes to conceiving, when it comes to giving birth, or in the menopausal phase, right? So at any point, these are like basic dietary tips that I would give to any person.
So that's great. What about ghee? Ayurveda talks a lot about ghee during the pregnancy, before pregnancy, post-pregnancy, menopause, all kind of thing, right? They're obsessed with
Yeah.
ghee. So
No,
I want, from a dietitian point of view, is ghee is okay? You don't want to be getting a heart disease if you have too much ghee.
yeah.
But
Yeah, so one thing to really understand here is that your cholesterol levels, your cholesterol levels don't really increase too much by having ghee, by having butter, or by having the yellow yolk of the egg, right? So a lot of people have misconceptions on these things. Again, it's a very controversial topic, but yeah, as far as my experience goes, I really don't think that it should be an issue as far as you're consuming it in moderation. Don't have too much of it. Of course, don't end up frying your French fries in ghee and things like that, because I've seen people do that. So don't do such things, of course not. But yeah, have it in moderation. Definitely, I wouldn't say it's a bad thing. Like I said, cholesterol is not formed by the food you eat, not entirely at least. It's mainly formed because of your stress levels, because of the way your liver is working and things like that. It's not only because of the food you're eating. So these are things that people really need to keep in mind. Maybe just have 1 teaspoon of ghee throughout the day. That's fine. It's perfectly fine. Will not do any harm to you. Whether you're pregnant or whether you're lactating, anything, it's completely safe. Yeah.
all right. Well, thank you so much. This is a quick 10-minute session that we bring on a daily basis. Anything else you want to add, Reedhika? Please go ahead. I try to keep sessions very short.
Yeah. So this is just to create a little bit of awareness in women who are trying to get pregnant. If you're trying to get pregnant, and if it's not happening naturally, please visit a physician before supplementing on your own. All right, it's very important to go see a physician, to see a doctor, or to see a nutritionist. Before you supplement, before you take anything without us advising you to take it, because such things might have harm that you're not aware of, right? That we know, because we know, we have the knowledge of it. So please come to us. It's just an awareness thing that I would like to say. I've seen a lot of people just go, no, my neighbor had this and lost weight. Even I should have the same thing. It doesn't work like that. So it's very individualized, so please see a physician. If you're not getting pregnant, if you're having issues with your periods or anything for that sort, please visit a physician or a nutritionist. We are here for you guys. Yeah, that's about
No,
it.
I think, and that's what we are advocating, is that don't start experimenting on your body, right?
Exactly.
And grow a herb garden inside and thinking that you're very healthy. It doesn't work like that. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Reedhika. Thank you, everyone. Please keep supporting us. We're coming up with really amazing programs in partnership with dietitians like Reedhika. So keep supporting us, and thank you, and have a great weekend, everyone. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Absolutely.